Okay, so the question here is find the inverse function of y equals cosh of x, and we're going to want to try and achieve that without using any trigonometric functions. So if it was allowed to include a trigonometric function, all we'd have to do is go inverse cosh of y equals inverse cosh of x, and that would just give us x, because these two would cancel, and that would give us a solution. So I'll just write this up here. So that would be an inverse formula, and that involves a trigonometric function. So how are we going to do that without a trig function? Well, what we can do is we can substitute the exponential identity for cosh. So we just, instead of cosh of x, we write in exponential form e to the x plus e to the minus x. Okay, so that takes care of that. So now we've got rid of any trig functions. But now we've got these messy e to the x's and e to the minus x's. So what we're going to do here now is just substitute a dummy variable just to make the calculations a little bit easier. So I'm going to substitute t equals e to the x. Just plug them in there. So I've now got y equals 1/2, e to the x, which is rt, and then e to the minus x. Well, e to the minus x, that's the same as 1 over e to the x. So basically we just got 1 over t in this part. Okay, so now we've just got an improper fraction here. Let's just try and get that out. So what we do now, just multiply through everybody by t. So now we'll get ty equals 1/2. Multiply this through by t, we get t squared. And then multiply this through by t, we get t over t, which is just 1. Okay, now it looks like we're going to get some sort of quadratic formula. We've got a t squared, a t, and a constant multiple. So let's get rid of this bracket and multiply everybody by 2 at the same time. So then we get 2ty with t squared plus 1. Okay, let's get everything all over on one side. So now we can have t squared minus 2ty plus 1, and that will give us 0. Okay, so now we've got quadratic form with our a equals 1, our b equals minus 2y, and our c is just going to be 1. Okay, so now we're going to write down the quadratic formula. So we've got minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, let's bring this up here. So our minus b will give us 2y plus or minus, and then we've got b squared, so minus 2y squared will give us 4y squared, and 4ac will give us 4 times a times c, or 4 times 1 times 1 is just 4. So that's just going to give us minus 4. Okay, and then 2a is just 2. Okay, now we've got a 2 here and a 2 here. I've got 2 4s, so let's just factor out square root of 4. So that will give us 2y plus or minus square root of 4 square root of y squared minus 1. And then that again will be all over 2. So let's cancel out all the 2's. So y plus or minus square root of y squared minus 1. And that's equivalent to our t or our e to the x. So we can say that this is t equals e to the x, which equals that. Now we want to get it in terms of x. So we're really close to our solution here. So if you've got e to the x, we just take the logarithm on both sides. So log of e to the x equals log of, take the absolute value, y plus or minus square root of y squared minus 1. So let's make that clear, it's the absolute value. Make sure they are proper straight lines. Okay, now log of e to the x is just x, and our x equals the natural log of y plus or minus the square root of y squared minus 1. Right, now as we're interested in real solutions, and we've got x is greater than 0, which leads us to e to the x is greater than 1. Obviously e to the 0 is equal or greater than 1. So then our solution is going to be x equals natural log of y plus square root of y squared minus 1. And that is our solution. Okay.